and welcome to Small Town Big Business, a podcast about finding big success in small town USA. I'm Jennifer Olson, and I'm the Director of Business Development for the City of Marion. And we're coming to you from EThOs at the Citadel in Marion.
And Russell Williams, I'm Director of EThOs. We're a small business incubator, co-working spaces, training and development, helping professionals both for-profit and nonprofit. We want to thank you for joining us. We also want to thank our sponsors for supporting the Small Town Big Business podcast. So a shout out to Arcadia Wealth Group, Black Diamond Harley Davidson and RV, Fowler Heating and Cooling, the Swinford Media Group, the Watermark Auto Group Foundation, Union Street Arts, and two of our newer sponsors that includes Banterra Bank and Southern Illinois Now.
And you can find us on your favorite podcast app, be that Spotify, Podbean, Apple, or if you want the video version, you can find us on YouTube. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. And if you want to help us grow, as we close in on 100 episodes, please share your favorite episode with somebody who might like it. And if you really love us, please leave us a 5-star review. Today, we have with us Susan Willis.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, thanks, Susan. We've known you for a long time. You've been in the business. We want you to tell us about your business, but start by telling us, who's Susan Willis? How did you get to this point?
Oh my gosh, there's so much to tell. Yeah. But really, I was raised in Iowa. I, like a lot of people who are transplants to this area, attended SIU, came here with friends, and married a local guy and stuck around. And so here I am today. That's kind of my condensed version.
And you're in the photography business.
I do have a photography business, Susan Willis Photography. I opened my doors in 2012, and I have been photographing ever since. Of course, like a lot of photographers, you start out with pretty much everything and find what really resonates with you. And so I specialize in teens, families, and businesses. So those are my three main genres that I concentrate on.
Well, I think that's smart to find what you do well and enjoy doing and kind of focus on that. But how long was that journey, or what helped you kind of finally find your niche?
So after photographing a few genres like newborns,
Fair enough.
And people ask me, do I photograph newborns? Well, that depends. If you want the cute swaddled little froggy poses with the bow in your hair, I am not your girl. I am a relationship photographer. And so the relationships with the mother, the father, and siblings, the tight crops, those are more my style. And so it draws a specific clientele.
And 2012 is when you started the business.
Yes.
I imagine you did quite a bit of photography before that. How did you get into the photography, and were you in other businesses before that?
So I did have a photography business eons ago, and I actually started out on film. And Mary Jo McCurdy's dad was one of my photography mentors. And so he taught me a lot about photographing people and different styles, and that's how I got into it. I got away from it for a while, and then I decided I wanted to change career paths. I had worked at SIU for a number of years and left that to start my own photography business, and I love it.
So at the core is the photography, but being a business owner has a lot of other components. So
Yes.
I suppose, like many people, you have favorite parts and not favorite parts of the business side. So
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So the business side that is my least favorite is the accounting process. I outsourced that immediately. Don't want to do that. I spent too many hours, struggling over that. And so I found a good CPA firm, and that's who does all my accounting work. And so it's helping another small business in our area. And what I love is the connection and relationships with the clients, building those relationships, meeting people, and really concentrating on how I can tell their story, whether it's a family or a business. A lot of businesses need new headshots, or they have teams and staff that need to be photographed. And photographing them in a manner that resonates with their brand and having consistency over their brand, whether it's a business card or a billboard, all of their marketing collateral. So those are some things that I really concentrate on and help them see what they can do with the images that they receive. So it's educating them also.
Yeah. I think I partially know the answer to this question, but I'm still going to ask it. How have you grown the business? What has really been a step up in growing the business? What have you done specifically in order to do that?
So, like I said before, I really thrive on relationship building.
Yeah.
And joining the chamber was a huge impact in helping my business grow. The other thing is I belong to networking groups. I belong to a BNI chapter, which is Business Network International, and the chapter I belong to is in Carbondale. There are chapters in Marion as well. I have built those relationships, and it has helped me extend my network. And really, it's helped me also develop those relationships within the community and really see other businesses and how I can help them and serve them and help them grow with their businesses.
Yeah. Well, like I've said to Jennifer before, you're an excellent networker.
Thank you.
That's how we know each other.
Right.
It's
exactly.
through all the things that you just mentioned is how we've crossed paths many, many times. And if I was going to name the top 3 people in our region that go out and really strive to build relationships through networking, you are in the top 3.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you're excellent at
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
It's something I really love.
Yeah, yeah. You were one of the first persons to come into this space, actually, before I think we actually opened doors to co-working spaces. You were like, hey, is this possible for me to come up here and do some photography?
Yes, and I did. And I was able to use the space before you were actually a space to use.
Yeah.
And seeing
Does that happen a lot? Do you look for those unique places?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And not only in buildings or locations indoors to photograph people, but also outside locations, because a lot of people have, depending on their decor, want something that is a more natural environment and to decorate the walls of their home. And so finding those unique locations that not everybody uses, not going out to the park or one of the nature reserves, wherever it is, having those unique locations for clients is really important to me. And it's one of those things that sets me apart.
Yeah.
So I want to stay on the networking topic because I think one thing that you do very well is follow up between public events, side coffee or just a call. And I distinctly remember something that happened in this building where you were like, hey, who are those ladies you were talking to? And I am guilty of assuming everybody knows everybody, but
sure.
I love that you did the follow-up. So I feel like you might have some tips on communication or time management. I don't know if you calendar those things, but can you tell us kind of how you make that happen?
So one of the things, and I'll give you an example. I went to a networking luncheon last month and met with a gal from the Better Business Bureau out of Cape.
Okay.
And struck up a conversation with her while we were in line, sat together with her, did an interviewing, basically, asked her questions and just, got to know her more, really showed interest in what she was doing and how I could help her get into the areas that she was wanting to know about. And really, it's more just being interested in people and listening to what they have to say. So then I did follow up with her. I sent her an email and expressed how great it was to get to meet her and set up a coffee date with her. And so we've had to reschedule that a couple times, but that's how it starts.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes the difference is the follow-up.
Yes. And another gal who I met had coffee with her and did the same thing. And, we haven't had a lot of time to really be physically in the same location, but I see her posts on Facebook. And so I say, hey, it looks like you're having a great time, or encouraging her. And I think that really being invested in people is what networking is all about. And that's how you build relationships, regardless of your business background.
Yeah. Where's that come from? Was that a passion you've always had for people, or did you learn networking skills from somebody else?
So some of it comes naturally because I like meeting people. I like doing new and different things. And some of it just comes from the information that I've learned through Business Network International. You have to meet with people. You have to do those follow-ups, and it teaches you how to do those in a very systematic way. I'm all about processes.
Yeah.
And so because processes, really keep your business moving forward.
Right. Do you have mentors in the photography or the business world? You mentioned Mary Jo McCurdy's. What was his name?
Bob White.
Bob White. Okay. And so do you have other mentors that you have followed to build your business?
So I have several photographers who I have worked with in different one-on-one scenarios or webinars that I've done with them. But I have a specific business coach who is in the photography industry, but also has other businesses that she does as well. So the other thing is having an accountability partner. So, and she is a fellow photographer. We do different genres. She does strictly high school seniors. That's all she does. But we do workshops together. We challenge each other. We do creative sessions, and really check in on each other every other week. So every 2 weeks, we're on a Zoom or a Skype call to where we're checking in. So how did you do with this? Did you get this done? Where are you in this process? Or what have you changed? Or what can I help you with? And those are really key in moving your business forward.
Yeah.
So I do think it takes bravery and dedication to say no to work that either doesn't fit what you want to do or is not profitable. We see businesses all the time get in trouble. They're busy and they're taking in money, but it's not at a rate that they're making any net money. So when people reach out to you, I'm just trying to understand chicken and egg. Like, do they kind of know your style and that fits them? Or does it require that you are giving them a lot of coaching and ideas? And, do you get to the case sometimes where it's not a match?
Absolutely. And so I always do a discovery call with every person who reaches out to me. Whether they reach out through my website, it's a referral, they've called me on the phone, however they contacted me, I do a discovery call with them. What is your goal? Where do you want this to be? And then I go through, okay, so this is how we work. We're not a typical studio in that we deal in finished product, art for your wall that happens to be your family, and custom designed albums. So for families and individuals who are doing that type of photography, it's a different process than a business. So a business headshot is more a commodity than it is for a family session, but it still is the same process. We go through a discovery call. What are your goals with this? Do you have branding colors that need to be incorporated? Are there other people who also need their headshots updated? And depending on what they're needing, we offer different custom packages for them because everything we do is custom. And so having that for that business, whether it's for their team or an individual, a solopreneur or a large corporation, we can accommodate them as long as we are a good fit. And that discovery call helps all of that. And some people just aren't a good fit, or it's not the right time for them, or they weren't thinking about doing it right now. But yes, this is exactly what I want. So can we schedule you at a later date? Absolutely. It's very flexible.
But I think that discovery call is a nugget. Like, I think that more businesses can be served well by having some sort of intake process.
Yes.
in a number of industries.
Yes, absolutely. And again, that's one of the things that helps set me apart and really helps the potential client determine whether or not they want to do that with me or no. Because I have a lot of my images out there. You can see what my style is, and it's not like everybody's. And I want it that way. Can I do something a little different or have a different lighting scenario, or can I match a backdrop that, we had our previous team members photographed in? Absolutely. We can do all of those things because of the education that I've received over the years and the training that I have. So I can match any lighting scenario, fix your backdrop, all the things that most clients are looking for.
Yeah. As far as marketing your business, what's the best tools right now? Are you on LinkedIn, or is it primarily still websites and social media?
So I am on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I don't TikTok.
We can teach that.
Yeah, thanks. No.
Okay.
I have enough going on. But all of those are helpful in getting your marketing out to people. But really, it's more those relationships.
Okay.
Because that's where people are going to know, like, and trust you.
Yeah. How far do you travel to work in different places for photography?
Well, I've photographed families in Florida,
Okay.
South Carolina,
Okay.
Arizona. For my immediate area, like if I'm doing a day job, St. Louis, Evansville, UT Martin, Cape Girardeau, so that's kind of my area.
Okay.
South of 64, river to river.
Okay. and here in this rural area of the Midwest, how is it different maybe working here? Is there advantages, disadvantages?
So it's funny you asked that question, because I was asked recently about what my market is, and I said, I live in the middle of a cornfield.
Yeah.
And so it is a little bit different than living in a metro area, because your clientele or prospective clients are scattered across a wide area geographically. And so trying to reach those people sometimes is difficult, but that's where, again, the networking comes in.
So Russ hit on the travel part, but tell us about your new home base.
So I have, I know I got all excited.
No, I love it.
So I had been looking for a studio space for quite a while. And because I photograph, I have very specific needs, like a minimum 12-foot ceiling. It had to be at least 15 feet wide. 20 would be better. And it's more like bowling alley, because I needed a lot of shooting space. And so that was difficult to find. And I am located at 4503 West Young in Suite 9A, which is across from the airport.
Awesome.
In the building that Basie owns. And I love my space.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
They did a great job. I got the keys December 5th.
Okay.
And I photographed my first headshots January 3rd.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it's been really exciting.
So good.
Yes.
So good.
So-
What would you say to people that say photography is really, like professional photography, is really out of my price range? It's something that I haven't looked into because I'm afraid that just can't afford it.
Well, it depends on what your priorities are. And, there are a ton of photographers out there that if you just are wanting a couple of images for this year's Christmas card, I'm not your photographer for that. There are 12 girls in your neighborhood who can do that for you. You don't need me for that.
And guys, too, to be fair.
Yeah, okay, fine. But if you want something that is lasting, that is generational, that is museum quality, that is going to last for a lifetime and then some, that's what you need me for.
And then my follow-up question is, because I'm bad on both of these things, like the pricing, how often should I have a professional headshot?
A new headshot, of course it depends, but a new headshot 12 to 18 months.
Okay.
Depending.
I am way past it.
But, if you've lost a lot of weight in the last 6 to 12 months, if you've changed your hairstyle, your hair color, maybe you're rebranding, or you have moved your location of your business, all of those things scream, okay, I need to update my materials. Because if you're not doing that, people will go, you don't look anything like your picture. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Competitiveness, you would think it's a very competitive field, but in your mind, do you think that way? Or are you, again, trying to get back into this, this is my specialty and I'm going to build relationships with people?
That's really what it is. This is my specialty. There are a ton of photographers in the area who do a service for clients, but it's digitally based. And so other than headshots, we do finished product, and that really makes a difference. And it's something that I'm very adamant about. I remember growing up and going to my grandma's and looking at the box through the box of images and asking questions and, who is this and where were you? And which causes a whole string of conversations, and we've lost that. And so having those images to show our next generation is really important.
Yeah, I suspect there's a lot of those digitals that are just trapped in a device or on a drive or whatever. I mean, my children's first pictures are on the small floppies. Nobody probably even knows what that means, but I can Google it. But anyways, I did want to ask about any kind of tools. You said, you're a process person, but are there like apps or certain calendars, or is there something that people should check out that you're like, that thing makes my life better?
I've thought about this question.
Okay.
And my phone is probably my most used tool. And I told somebody yesterday, this is my computer. What I carry in my hand, in my pocket, in my purse, it is my computer. And I can respond to clients, talk with clients on the phone, text. If somebody has a question, or say, Rusty, you were coming in for your headshot and you weren't sure if you should wear, this shirt and this tie or this way, you could text me images of those and I would help you choose.
Right.
Because that's part of what I offer to my clients, because it's important that you're comfortable when you get to the studio, so that you're comfortable in front of the camera.
Right.
It really makes a difference.
And if I'm a client who, this is true for me again, should have done this yesterday, right?
Sure.
And so I'm interested in how quickly, because I needed it yesterday, right? How quickly is reality as far as turnaround time for like a professional headshot?
So I have a place where I would send you a link. So you would go and choose a date and time that is open on my calendar that fits your time schedule as well. It's booked, you pay for it, and you show up. It's super easy if that's all you're looking for. Mm-hmm. If you're wanting something custom, then that takes a little bit longer process. So say we talk today, and within 2 weeks, you're in the studio, and then within 48 to 72 hours, you have your images.
Oh, really?
So, and you select them on the spot.
Wow.
So it's, you know what you're getting before you leave.
Well, that's a lot of pressure on me to select the spot.
You can call a friend.
Okay.
One of the things that I see people is the mistakes that they make in getting headshots. So, hey, let's do a selfie, that kind of thing. And, or the new AI that's out there, that has been a huge discussion in the photography industry right now. Neither of those things scare me, because you cannot do what I can do, and AI can't either. Now, AI can do a lot of good things, but it can't replicate or duplicate what I can create for you individually, and that's custom.
Very good.
So what does scare you? Anything?
Oh, good question.
Well, I won't jump out of an airplane. I'm not fond of TikTok. I'm not a fan. I don't really like snakes. But Not a lot. I mean, I drove my own Harley Davidson for years and loved it. So there, I don't know, there's not a lot I'm willing to try things at least once usually, as long as it's not illegal and not immoral.
That's a good baseline.
Yeah, we've got to start somewhere.
So are there things that now that you kind of getting settled in, you've been in your space a few months, like, are there things that you want to add, whether it's events or I don't know what it would be, but what's on your wish list?
So I've been thinking about that, about having a small women's group meet in my space, so that they can see what my space is like and help them with a meeting space. Because like me, I'm confident that small groups need a place to meet sometimes.
Absolutely.
And so that's one of the things that I would like to do. I do have a couple of campaigns that I'm working on, different things that I want to show the community what is capable, and also to showcase some women in different genres. And so that's some things that I'm working on that you'll be seeing in the future.
Oh my gosh, I love that, because I feel like we all have like this timeless photo of a grandmother or an aunt where you're just like, wow, I don't have that.
Yes.
So that's an exciting project.
And
Sure.
if you have an image of a relative that was taken 100 years ago that you would like replicated by you, we can absolutely do that, with the lighting, with the hairstyling, with the outfit, we'll make it you, but you will be able to see the resemblance and that it was actually used for your photo shoot. Yeah,
That's magical.
it's super fun.
For our listeners who may be entering into photography business and may be just thinking about it, if you went back in time, what advice would you be giving to yourself or to them?
Don't do it. No, I'm just really, having your skill is one thing, but knowing your business and having your business plan and a marketing plan, a website, because even though people use social media, websites are where it's at still.
Yeah.
And people still want to see that you are a professional. If the only thing you have out there is Facebook, that's questionable. And so it really says that, yes, I'm a professional. I have a website. I pay taxes. I have insurance. All of those things matter in having a business, and being able to pay for those as you go along is really important to the sustainability of your business.
But budgeting,
Yes.
it's not set it and forget it.
Yeah, no, you can't do that because things change so rapidly. They really do. And so having the ability and skill and people in your back pocket, like your CPA, can all help you with that. And, the Small Business Development Center is another great resource for people who are just starting out. And that's something that was available to me as well. And I still use them for different things. I mean, they put on some great, one-day sessions, half-day sessions that really help small businesses regardless of the field that you're in.
Yeah.
Well, I have to ask, because you mentioned young people, and just give you some accolades if you want to talk about CEO and what you've done with them.
So I have been a mentor and a supporter of the CEO program for, I don't know, 8 years.
And explain what that is for some of our listeners.
So it is an entrepreneurial program through the schools, and students have to develop their own business plan, their own business model, come up with a business, and pitch their business. And at the end of the school year, the term, they have a trade show and they have to sell or pitch their business that they came up with. Plus, they also have a class project that they all participate in that helps raise money for their particular group. So I started out with the Williamson County CEOs, and your daughter was first. Yeah, yes, was
great.
Yeah, and I did headshots for them, and I was also a mentor for them, and I was on their board at one time.
Okay, very good.
And I'm still involved in the Jackson CEO program. I'm still a mentor. So, yeah.
Well, and I love that program so much, not just because I think we need to teach entrepreneurship as a path as equal and as strong as we teach college and trade schools and all of that, but for my daughter, it was a game changer. She was a very introvert. At the beginning of the school year, somebody would ask, what is CEO? And I would explain, creating entrepreneur opportunities. By the end, she's shushing me and she's telling people, adults, that she doesn't know. And that never would have happened without CEO. And now she is 23, going on 24. She just finished her master's, and she's a teacher at Carterville Intermediate, where she just got tenure at 23 years old.
Great. That is awesome.
And I give so much credit to the volunteers and mentors of CEO. So had to get a little plug in.
We just had the Saline County CEO students here this week taking a tour.
That's great.
So,
yes.
It's a great program.
Yeah, it really is.
Appreciate your service towards it too.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You've already explained this a little bit, but we'll repeat it. What is your why? Why do you do what you do?
So there are a couple of things that happened in my life that were life-changing for me. One of them was when my family split up when I was a young child, and that really had an impact on me. Trying to figure out how a 6-year-old still fit in. And then 15 years or so ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so I went through chemotherapy, lost my hair, did radiation. I mean, all the things. It was awful. You have to be very strong in order to go every 3 weeks and let them pump toxic stuff into your body that's going to make you sick. And through those two events, I realized how important it is to have that family connection, to really document your life, regardless of what your life is. Ian, you're going to make me cry, Dave.
Safe place.
Yeah, it really showed me that I need to help families show how their children are connected, because having a family portrait on the wall really helps build self-esteem in a child.
Yeah.
It helps them know how they fit into the family, and it helps them know how they fit into the world. And it also shows the mom that, yes, I really love these children, even though I want to pinch their little heads off today, But it really does help you with your family history and document that. And I think we've gotten away from that with the digital process and our cell phones. And so those were the two things that really changed my perspective on photography as a whole. And I wanted to do it the best.
Well, and I think one of the things that is important about an in-studio or on location is you're helping them get comfortable. You're helping them find a pose that they can live with, as opposed to what I see on social media that's taken with people's digital camera, which I swear is 8 out of 10 times the mom is hiding her body behind her children.
Yes.
And it crushes me. And I feel like, everybody should just capture the stage that you're in, and it is what it is.
Yes.
And, having some coaching into the right pose can really help people get comfortable with themselves and not feel that they need to hide.
Right. And lighting and posing are two of the biggest things that I can do to help you look your best. And that's my goal.
Yeah.
And, whether you're 10 pounds, 20 pounds. It doesn't matter. Your children love you, and they are going to look for images of you. And in 20 years, you're going to look back on those and think, wow, I looked so great. I don't know what I was afraid of.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's the old, I wish I was as fat as the first time I thought I was fat.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
So, Susan, how would we find you if we're interested in checking you out?
So, like I said, I am on Facebook, Susan Willis Photography, or Susan Willis is my personal. I'm also on Instagram, Susan Willis Photo. I have a website, SusanWillisPhotography.com, and I'm pretty easy to find out there. You know, I have forms on my website. You can reach out to me. And I have a gift for your listeners, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I have a document that is the 8 mistakes people make for headshots that tells them some different things that, you know, typically go wrong or things that are misconceptions. And this will help them, whether they use me or not, you know, prepare for their next headshot session with someone. And so I can link that in the show
excellent.
notes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. I'm happy to do that. Yeah.
What haven't we asked? I know you're a good prepper for these things, so I want to make sure that we get you your due.
Well, one of the things that has helped with knowing the community more and meeting people is being the contributing photographer for the Marion Neighbors publication.
Okay.
And whether it is photographing a family or a business entity and showcasing them, it has introduced me to individuals and businesses that I never would have met otherwise, or it would have been a different process to meet them. And really showcasing them in the community and helping other people see these great people. 3 of my favorites were the Marion Police Department and their canine unit, the Marion Fire Department, and the Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
So it was great fun meeting them and showcasing them and really demystifying them for the community.
That's good.
And it's funny because those are careers that they really live it 24/7. And,
Right.
you know, when I was a banker, I didn't have dollar sign stuff decorating my home, but they might have that back the blue. And so
Yes.
I think it's such an integrating part of their life, but I bet you they have never had professional photos taken in uniform.
It was fun. We had a blast.
It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. And my husband is he was in the Air Force as security, and then he also worked in corrections. So that type of person I'm familiar with. So it was really fun for me.
That's great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Susan, we love you. We love you as a friend and as a professional in this community.
Thank
Appreciate your time. So,
It was my pleasure.
Yeah.
Really. Thank you so much.
Appreciate your being open and honest and a little peek behind the curtain.
Thank you. Yeah. It was great.
so our guest today has been Susan Willis of Susan Willis Photography. We want to thank everybody for being part of the small town big business community. We want to thank our sponsors again for supporting this. Arcadia Wealth Group, Black Diamond Harley Davidson and RV, Tyler Heating and Cooling, Swinford Media Group, the Watermark Auto Group Foundation, Banterra Bank, and also Southern Illinois Now. And we don't want to forget our producer, Luke O'Neill at Union Street Arts. If you have a need for professional audio or videos, reach out to Luke at Union Street Arts. We want to thank you again for supporting us and watching this. If you want to know more about EThOs at the Citadel, we're a small business incubator. We get new businesses started. We help in training and development, growing businesses. You can reach out to ethosmarion.org, and that's also a website that you'll find our podcast, Small Town Big Business, both on YouTube and also our traditional podcast platforms.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope that you're already subscribed, but if you're not, please do so. Please share our episodes with friends that might like this kind of material, and just keep listening, keep watching, rate and review us, We love coming to you and telling you the behind the scenes of how small businesses find big success in rural America. So thanks for being with us. I'm Jennifer Olson. I'm the Director of Business Development for the City of Marion. My office is at City Hall. You can find me there, and all my contact information is on LinkedIn.
And Russell Williams with EThOs at the Citadel. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much.